Hello, in this session, we will cover the technique or the suggestion rather to manage final year project timelines. And we will be referring to two main documents. So the first one is the project handbook. This is page 15. So I'll bring you to the cover, which is this one, project handbook, that you receive at the beginning of the project. So we'll go to page 15 to cover the process of the project. And this will be reflected also in your final year project calendar or final year project plan that has all the dates for the key activities or the key checkpoints of the project. Okay, so this will guide you on what are the dates where you will have your briefings, for example, and when you will, and there's also recommendation when to meet your supervisors, for example. Okay, let's say this one. Okay, and then this will be so be guided by this. Yeah, and then you have the supervisory meeting number 2, 3, number 4, number 5. So just follow the dates and basically keep your sanity in that sense. And just get in touch with the supervisor and say, are you available? Can we meet briefly to just run through the progress? Yeah. So the two key dates that I want to highlight will be these two. Yeah. So the first one is the IR submission. I will compare that to the timeline later. Investigation report submission. That's due usually at the end of the first semester. And then the second key date is the final year project submission that will be due at the end of the second semester. So you're looking at IR. Yeah, you have to do 3 chapters for IR, investigation report. And then for the final year project, basically what you have done for the IR, you will put it as the beginning part of your project, and then you have to add on 2 more chapters in the project. Yeah, so altogether 5 chapters. And then how much time do you have? You will have 14 weeks for for the IR. That's about 3.5 months, 3.5 months. Okay, and another 14 weeks for the project, which is also another 3.5 months. Okay, so apologies, we'll reload and it will come. Okay, so that's a timeline, and then you can translate that to the Gantt chart like this. Okay, so all the activities, for example, like this, from the calendar that's already done for you, you can just translate it to Gantt chart. Okay, how do you do a Gantt chart? You can actually use a basic Excel file or Word file to just create a table. And this represents the weeks. Yeah, so the weeks in September. So for example, altogether, you have 14 plus 14, you have 28 weeks. So what you can do is you just plot this 24 maybe plus until 28. Yeah, so 24 is a safe, I would say it's a safe timeline, so that because it's clearly within the 28 weeks. But if you want to just cover it up to 28 weeks, that's also fine. Plus minus, because there will also be, so for example, in between your 14 weeks here, you will have a semester break, and at the end of your first semester also you will have your end of semester break or in between semester break. So plus minus, you will have those times also to breathe. Yeah, hopefully. So this is why the timing is important, the planning is important. So I'll just make a quick change here. So the FYP will be an additional 2 chapters. So you're going to actually add on, yeah, the IR to the FYP, and altogether you'll produce 5 chapters. So what's next? Okay, so how do you translate that to the Gantt chart? So you put this for 28 weeks, of course, based on your start date. Yeah, so this example starts in September, but of course you will start based on whichever date you start, and then arrange the weeks and arrange the activities. Okay, so what I normally suggest is you can plan based on chapter. So that's one way to do it. So for example, chapter 1, you do first, and then chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2, after that, chapter 3. Perhaps this extended one could be with data collection. Okay, so your chapter 3 planned together with your data collection. And after that, maybe chapter 4, which is your result analysis. And then followed by chapter 5, which is your conclusion, recommendation, limitation, etc. And you can just add on more things here. And then you can add on also based on this. You can also include your supervisor meetings. Yeah. So that's what I also recommend, because sometimes we forget to meet the supervisor, or at the very least, just update the supervisor. Yeah, during the meeting, okay, just meet for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, etc. Just update the supervisor. This is what I've done this week, or this for this progress. Okay, so that's the planning. And then how do you do it? So you can just do, for example, 14 here. Okay, so you have one semester break in the middle. Okay, so there will be 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And another 7 weeks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you have 14 here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then another 14 weeks here. So basically 15 with a break in between, 15 until 28. Okay, so based on that, you chunk actually. Okay, let's say first 3 weeks I want to do chapter 1, or let's say the first month I want to do chapter 1. Okay, and then the next month, the next 4 weeks, chapter 2. Okay, and then maybe 1 week for editing, chapter 2. Another 4 weeks for chapter 3. Okay, so you can use Excel, you can use Word document quite easily and to do this plotting. And again, discuss with your supervisor adjustments or planning or any issues, so that you can actually complete everything in time by the end of the 28 weeks. Okay, so that's our suggestion on how to manage the FYP planning. Thank you very much.